Welcome to the Tri-City Regional Chamber of Commerce Quick Takes Legislative Live video series. My name is Matt Murphy, the Government Regional Affairs Director for the Chamber. This series, we're going to share quick visits with our local legislators. We want to know what's going on, what the hot topics are, and what in general is happening in Olympia. I want to thank the Tire Factory, Hayden Homes, and Great Northwest Transport for their support of this video series. And today we are joined by Senator Boehnke from the 8th Legislative District. Senator Boehnke, thank you for joining us today.
Great to be here, Matt. Thanks for having me. Appreciate this.
Absolutely. So we are wrapping up week 3. There's only about 7 more weeks to go. I think 41 days left in this session. I imagine you guys got a big calendar on the wall where you just rip the numbers off the wall as time goes by. But I did notice
we just love this, Matt. Come on, we're not counting down. This is enjoy the happiness we bring.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been there a couple times in the last 2 weeks and know how busy you guys are. And so, yeah, I don't envy that. And I do know that I looked and I think, and I'm going to pull these numbers out, you're on 4 committees and like 7 other advisory committees, councils, boards. And that's just a rough number that I could find. I don't know what else you are, any secret societies that you also, meet with. But one of your duties is the Artificial Intelligence Task Force.
Correct.
And now I hope you guys aren't all sitting around trying to figure out what to do about Skynet in another 100 years or so. And, the destruction of mankind. But okay, that's good. That's good to hear.
No, I can clarify that, get that out of the way right away. So thanks, Matt.
If it's not Skynet, what are the issues that are, the major topics under consideration in the AI world?
Well, a lot of it is coming up with the issues we've seen probably in the news you've seen lately about some of the sexual predator crimes that we're having with online gaming, where there's things that people don't notify, that there's things that are going on in the gaming system, that there's AI bots. And so we hear the terms chat bots or just bots. And these are just scripted algorithms that are being developed to help us actually within, whether it's small business, corporations, or games, really frequently ask questions, things that we can assist people with have been really prevalent and actually innovative to help people get to and answer a lot of their questions. Now we're seeing a turn for the dark side, if you will, that these are going into malicious activity. And that's where I mentioned like the criminal activity, things that are out there. Number one, some of the bills are going after really seeing the notification of what a chatbot is, that you're speaking to an artificial intelligence chatbot, not a real human, is one bill. Notifying that within that, your privacy data is still yours. So then you still hold on to whatever data you're discussing with this chatbot, how the chatbot's collecting that data and what they're doing with that data. So there's a couple bills on that, a couple bills on the algorithm itself. So when an algorithm's being built, that's kind of the database of when the chatbot or artificial intelligence, the large language model, is bringing in data that you can opt out of that data, or you can have still rights of privacy that data is being manipulated in a certain way. One of those bills is mine about your name, voice, and your likeness is yours, so that it cannot be manipulated by a AI software without you knowing it and without you being aware that it's being used either for or against you in maybe a comedic way, maybe a criminal way, and the different ways that would not be approved by you, the individual. We had a hearing on that. I don't know how far that's going to go. We're hoping to get that executive out this week. And for your listeners, we're coming up next Wednesday on the policy cutoff. So we're really getting into crunch time over this weekend of really trying to get amendments done, getting bills finalized, get them out of committee so we can get them to the financial committees, then get them to the floor and get them voted on. So we're getting down to that crunch time with a lot of these bills.
So how do those issues, I mean, those are worldwide. Those, obviously it's the World Wide Web for a reason. How is Washington State, how can we regulate that type of stuff? How can you wave a magic wand and say that Senator Boehnke's picture is not going to be used someplace else?
A lot of this goes to existing law where the Attorney General's office has consumer protection, and then they align with whether it's FERPA, HIPAA, whether it's within healthcare, and then even the financial systems already have existing law to where we're going to be aligning these two. So the low-hanging fruit is the better policies are the ones aligned with existing law, and then we have that tweak to ensure that the name likeness, like my bill, all it's doing is updating that as part of existing RCW, and that it includes things that are already on the books. So within that consumer protection laws that we currently have.
Okay. Yeah. And then how does it, on the federal level, how does it align with what's going on there?
Yeah, that's a big question, especially with Trump's executive order on artificial intelligence that he wants to standardize across all 50 states, make this a federal option. As states, we're hearing the processes, as states develop these policies that go to that federal side, they're going to be adjudicating them, they're going to be filtering them, they're going to be looking at these, seeing which ones make sense. And then it sounds like they're going to adopt them and then make them law, which is okay with us. Others are going to squash and say, no, we want to do our own version at the federal level, which is their right anyways. But that's the other issue between states versus federal rights, that we have a right to do certain things in Washington because Washington State, we believe one size may not fit all because we have different areas of startups that we're innovative on. We have angel investors that want to do certain things, and we have higher education systems that are doing things within those systems. We want to make sure we adapt those as well.
Outstanding. All right. So this is the legislative quick takes, and I promised Virginia, your legislative aide, that I wouldn't keep you any longer than I have to. So
She's
and
amazing.
I have to respect the legislative aides. But before we go, from what I understand, you are going to be running for Congress this fall.
Yes, I am. Thanks, Matt. I was given an opportunity when Dan Newhouse stepped down and made the announcement that creates an open seat, is what we call it on the political side of it. A lot of people came to me, and it was really overwhelming, being humbled by this opportunity to do this and continue to serve the community I have. Being a military member, being a veteran, coming back home to serve the community that raised me, that I grew up in Kennewick and still have 2 or 3 generations of family members around the Tri-Cities. So it's a great opportunity. Looking forward to continuing to serve at the next level.
Well, outstanding. So good luck, Senator Boehnke, in the next 7 weeks during all of 2026, and as you work to take your fight to the other Washington. So thank you very much for your time and all the hard work. And once again, if there's anything that we can do for you here back in the homeland, so to speak, let us know, and we really appreciate it.
Well, thanks. One of these is what you're doing here. These quick takes help a lot. Getting the word out to people, understanding the policies and where they can sign in. We have a couple things with that less restrictive housing that's going on in Kennewick. A lot of people are concerned about that. What does that mean? Some of the enforcement efforts. We're working on those with Senator Torres as well. So we're trying to get those movements in there. But yeah, just getting the time to sign in, comment on those bills, the policies, being at the hearings, understanding your voice does matter here in Olympia.